Good evening, Metalheads of Toronto. Let me make some noise. You can do better than that. Let me make some noise. It's closing gala night here at Toronto After Dark Film Festival, our 10th annual edition. My name is Adam Lopez. I'm the festival director and founder, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the Toronto theatrical premiere of Deathgasm. Who's excited? You ready to crush skulls and gouge out eyes and slay demons? Because you're going to be seeing a lot of that tonight. Let me just tell you a couple of things before we get into tonight's show. Have you had a good festival? You guys been coming out for a number of nights? You can vote for tonight's film in the Activate Entertainment Audience Choice Awards. So give it a 5 if you love it, a lower score if not so much. And you can get those ballots on the way out. And we're being sort of trying to anticipate as we get ready for announcing that award winner next week, who might win. So there's a lot of counting still to be done, but we've been hearing some pretty loud cheers over the last few days. So give it up for some of the films that we just think, based on your noise reactions, are going to be big hits in that. Who enjoyed Christmas Horror Story? A little bit of a dark horse, The Interior. Anyone for The Interior? Cool. We've also had a couple other films that I think really, Love and Peace last night. Definitely, that one seems to be tracking along. And The Hallow. Anyone for The Hallow? Or have we saved the very best for last? You guys are going to find out momentarily, and we're looking forward to it. Okay, let's just, one other film that got a huge cheer. Nina Forever fans? Definitely. That one seems to be a big hit. I know some of you have been looking forward to our 10th anniversary festival t-shirts and wondering where they are. They're actually at the ticket counters on the lower levels. We've still got a few left of Monsters After Dark. So look out for that if you want to grab a souvenir before you head off tonight. Those are at the ticket counters downstairs until around midnight. Special thanks at this point. Please give it up for our wonderful main sponsors. Activate Entertainment, Raven Banner, Space and Cineplex. And please keep clapping for our wonderful festival volunteers and our incredible hard-working staff at Toronto Dark who have worked their guts out to put on this festival. And I also want to thank, 10 years is a really long amount of time to be putting on an independent film festival that we have done on very much a grassroots level, still run by fans for fans. There's no large corporation behind this organization. There's no giant government sponsors. We are still very much grassroots. So thank you so much to all the fans for coming out for the last 10 years, including this year, which we have so proud of. Thank you so much for your support. There's one fan in particular I just want to single out, give him a big cheer. He's been buying candy for our volunteers and staff and bringing things to Christmas night. His name is Buddha. Please give it up to Buddha, our super fan. Where are you, Buddha? Wave your hand over there in the middle. He's made Buddha. So many of the last years have been so special thanks to that gentleman there and what he does for our volunteers. Just want to say thank you for everything you guys have done. Now, coming up, what have we got after this? Normally I tell you about some other films that are coming up, but there's not much left. There is actually an 11:45 p.m. show of Deathgasm. So straight after this screening ends and the titles are done, get on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and tell all your friends who weren't at the 9:30 show that there's still some tickets. They can grab them here at Scotiabank. And we'd love to get another sellout screening of this fantastic film. Straight after this screening, we're heading off to the pub after we do a Q&A. So join us for our closing night party, and that will be the top floor of the Office Pub as we celebrate with fans, filmmakers, volunteers, and festival staff what's been our 10th annual edition. We've had so many records set. We've sold a record number of tickets. We've equaled our record last year of 13 sellouts. So thank you for everyone who's helped make our 10th year so special. Record number of filmmakers have visited from around the world. So give it up for all the visiting filmmakers as well who've come so far to Toronto. So let's talk about films. Tonight we have a short in front of our feature. Who's been enjoying the shorts at Toronto Dark? The short tonight is called Dead Air. Give it up for Lyndon Horsfall, the director, to introduce his closing gala short. Come on, Lyndon. And some of your team, I believe.
Yes, because I don't want to be up here alone, I have Torrin Langan, who is the producer of the movie and also acts in it, and Ryan Leandros, who is the incredible star of the movie. He's pretty awesome. So this is really cool and overwhelming, and I know none of you are here to see my movie, and that's okay. But I hope you really, I hope you really enjoy it. It wouldn't have been made without Torin. I've actually never made a horror movie before. Torin is generally like the horror guy in our community. And when I had an opportunity to make a movie and I didn't know what to make, he was like, "Make a horror movie, man. I want to see you make a horror movie." And now here we are, standing on the stage at Toronto After Dark. So that's pretty awesome. And Ryan, the ad-libber extraordinaire, I think made the movie better than anybody did, because he made all his lines sing the way a great actor does. So I'm glad he could be here tonight. And Jennifer Goff couldn't make it. She's the other star. She's amazing. And the film was shot by Bruce William Harper, and unfortunately he couldn't be here tonight, but he's my brother in arms in filmmaking, and I just want to sort of like raise a toast to him because I wish he could be here, but yeah. So I hope everyone enjoys the movie.
Closing night. It's going to be
Closing?
fun.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Enjoy Dead Air, coming up in a few minutes. Our feature film. Deathgasm is one of those films that we were kind of struggling. Is it the opening night film or the closing night film? But it just feels like the perfect film to wrap up our festival. It just aims right at the dead, beating, bloody core of our audience and our fans. Great gore, old school prosthetics, fantastic kills. Some of you may know that I love a good kill at Toronto Dark. And you know, if zombie fans cheer for brains, I always cheer for kills. What do we want? Kills! That's right, we're gonna have lots of kills tonight. Kills is my favorite type of film with great gore. And instead of me talking about it, let's talk about another record that we have here. We have the filmmaker who has traveled the furthest ever in our history. A New Zealand filmmaker is here tonight. He is the director of Deathgasm. Give it up for Jason Lee Howden. Come on, to introduce Deathgasm tonight. Our most distant ever traveled filmmaker, the closing gala of Toronto.
What's up, Toronto? Oh, come on, you motherfuckers, give me louder than that. Come on. What's up, Toronto? I'd just like to say thank you so much for coming tonight. It's a real honor being here, first time in Canada. So yeah, it's been an amazing trip. Thank you so much to Adam and all the Toronto After Dark crew. You guys are fantastic. And also thanks to Raven Banner for picking up the film like a couple of days ago. Yeah, no, thank you so much, guys. It's really cool. Like, I hope you guys have a blast tonight. Also, thank you so much to my beautiful wife Sarah, producer on Deathgasm, that's hiding in the dark there for like for helping me create this kind of weird sort of love child splatter heavy metal horror film. Yeah, cool.
Let's get this party started. And you're going to have a Q&A with us afterwards?
Yeah. Come listen to me slur some more afterwards. Just one last thing. I just want to get a photo of you guys if that's cool. Like, I just want to... You're all looking so beautiful tonight. So just on the count of 3, I just want you guys go like 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. You can do the countdown. Okay. Sweet. So I'll just my camera loaded up. 1 hand and 2. All of the hands.
All right. On the count of 3.
Down there. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Awesome! Have a good time,
Cheers,
guys.
Jason. We're back for Q&A, and you can hang out with our wonderful Kiwi visitors at the pub as well afterwards. Without further ado, let's bring up the director of Deathgasm. Give a warm welcome again back to the stage, Jason. Howden.
Hey! What about them Blue Jays?
I know.
Man, Batista knocked it out of the park.
You've been watching the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We've been watching your awesome movie, which I know you've seen to death.
Man, the game was way better. Sorry, guys.
You missed the crowd reactions. Did you guys enjoy that? We're going to throw some questions with you guys momentarily, but first I'm going to just start things off. So start thinking of some questions. Inspiration for this movie. Come on, where did you come up with something as awesome as Deathgasm?
I mean, it's it's funny because there was a lot of like obvious inspiration, like Trick or Treat, Evil Dead, that sort of shit, and then there's been a lot of comparisons with like Brain Dead and Bad Taste, which I love. I never really intentionally it was just a subconscious thing, I guess, or maybe just because we're from New Zealand, we get compared a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I saw A Bad Taste when I was 9 years old, and it was in a department store on like one of those walls of television sets, and I just walked in to buy some Nintendo games, and I saw this crazy like Kiwi splatter action, and I was instantly hooked. So it's one of those things that's always been there.
I heard you were a VHS collector from a young age.
Yeah, I only collected them when I was older and had money, but I've always a big part of my cinematic upbringing was watching VHS, because I couldn't afford to go to the cinema, and also the cinemas just played shitty movies. Like we didn't have horror movies in the cinemas. Like there was a couple, but so yeah, for me VHS was like that's where I saw my movies, VHS and TV. So yeah, it's always been a big part of my life, and I love the cinematic experience, but for me, like watching a VHS with some mates is still how I enjoy watching movies to this day.
I was going to talk, obviously, the metal side of the film. You've gone around talking about this being the most metal horror movie ever.
Yes. unless those guys from Trick or Treat come and try to take me on. Okay. Come on, bring it on, guys.
We're going to talk a little bit about how the metal scene and the horror scene have sort of been intertwined. From how do you see them connected?
Well, I mean, I think metal wouldn't be there without horror. I mean, it's you think about the very first what I consider the first heavy metal album, like Black Sabbath. It's named after a Mario Bava movie. So it's always, I think they took that horror iconography and they turned it into music, and I think that's what created heavy metal. That's what sets them apart from their contemporaries like Led Zeppelin, which didn't do that so much. So I think metalheads and gorehounds and horror fans have always had like a lot in common, and it doesn't always swing the other way, but there's always you look at the soundtracks, the metal movies, like Dario Argento's Phenomena has like Flash of the Blade in it, and all the new metal stuff. Like every teen slasher film in the 90s had some new metal, and there's always been a lot of cross-contamination there.
Sure. Why don't we open up to the floor? You guys got some
could I just introduce my producer and wife, Sarah Howden, as well?
Sarah? Are you coming to stay?
She's watching the game.
Oh, she is? Yes. You guys have got hooked on our local team success story. And so has a lot of the cities. Give it up for Sarah, producer. Who's rocking the Toronto After Dark Monsters After Dark team. Cool. Do you want to say something about your involvement with the film? Like how you got involved and what it's like to be here in Toronto?
Well, we won this competition to make a horror movie, and Deathgasm was it. So it's not the way a normal film comes around.
It's not a normal film, though.
It's not a normal film.
I thought the contest was just like a one-line entry. Was it as simple as that? Like you had to do a paragraph? Or how did it begin?
A small synopsis and a poster, and then it got upvoted to the next round, and then we had to do a treatment, and then a video segment, and then down to round, the last round, 4 people, we had to write a script.
Wow.
Well, Jason wrote the script in 9 days.
Wow.
Out of about 500.
Out of about 500
Not yes.
people.
And then you guys got, the producers came on board and...
Yeah. There were producers associated with the competition, and half of the money came from an American production company and half from the New Zealand Film Commission. So taxpayer money funded this.
Fantastic.
Yay, the government. We have a really right-wing government right now too.
All right, let's open it up to the fans. Have you guys got some questions? Some hands over there. Actually, I see everyone. Go.
You noticed you had, what was the process like for choosing the soundtrack to the movie? I noticed you had some Canadian metal in there.
Oh, Skullfist!
Yes.
Yeah, fucking Skullfist! Oh man, I love those guys. They're from Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, I was emailing them hoping they'd come, but it was it was a hard process in some ways because we had like exactly $0 for the whole soundtrack. So going to musicians and saying, "Hey, I know you guys are losing heaps of money because of piracy, but we've got no money. Why don't you give us some fucking songs?" Yeah, so there was a hard process in that respect, but there was like a core, you know, bands like Skullfist, you know, Emperor, Midnight, Nunslaughter, and some Kiwi bands that came on board and, you know, donated their songs for free, and, you know, fucking mass respect for those guys for doing that. And yeah, I mean, we were talking with some other bands, like you obviously noticed like some bands like Cannibal Corpse and the Merchandise and you know, Development and Skinless, and you know, we would have loved to have those guys on board, but it just
Trivium.
Yeah, Trivium. It just wouldn't happen with the record companies, unfortunately. But you know, I'm really proud of the soundtrack. We're actually putting out like a double vinyl album soon. So like, if you guys want to like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. Like we couldn't fit all the songs on one vinyl, so we're like, we're gonna have to do two. And it's the artist is the same artist that Divine Intervention album cover as well, and yeah, so we're really stoked on that. So check it out. Hey. No.
So yeah, it was nice to see a couple of Kiwi bands near like 8 Foot Sativa and stuff. Did you manage to squeeze in any kind of cameos from like metal artists and stuff?
I mean, we wanted to, but like it was, yeah, a lot of people have asked like, why didn't we get cameos from like, you know, some American artists? And I guess the fact was New Zealand's just so far away, and we couldn't fly anyone down, we couldn't afford that, so yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, there's been talk of doing a sequel. If we maybe did that, we could like, yeah, we could get some, you know, some artists in there, and I've actually, you know, had contact with a couple of metalheads that have seen the film and really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I mean, actually, the closest we got is one of the Bushwhackers, but we couldn't get him. Yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan, and one of the Bushwhackers. I think Luke. Yeah, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I think Luke was or Butch. One of them's dead. the one that's not dead. I was trying to get him.
We're trying to get both of them.
Yeah, just take him up for a reunion tag team. But yeah, that would have been cool. But even we couldn't even get a fucking New Zealand like cameo in that. That's how low budget we were. So. Hey.
What advice would you have for future filmmakers?
Oh God, I don't know. It's all been a drunken blur. I don't know. It's just, I guess, just do shit that you think's fun, and then hopefully other people enjoy it, because that's all that we've done, honestly. And yeah, I mean, we've been touring with the film for the last 2 months, and actually one piece of advice that I could give is, if you do get into festivals, then just try and go. Like there's so many New Zealand filmmakers that they get into festivals, and they just, because we're so far away, they don't go to the festivals, and it's just been amazing. Like, you know, spending time with fans, spending time with like, you know, programmers, and spending time with like other directors, and it's just amazing. It's the best thing you can do. So yeah.
My advice would be, don't say I want to be a filmmaker. Say I am a filmmaker, because the second you pick up a camera, then you've started making a film. Like, you could say, I want to be a writer, or you could just write, and then you are a writer.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
One right there.
Over here.
Hey!
Get air.
Over there.
To the both of you. Can you think of a specific example during production, pre-production, anything, where a complication, problem happened, and you worked with it in a way that made the film better than you thought it would turn out?
I mean,
Okay.
so many problems.
One of the problems was we didn't have money to make prosthetics, so we managed to borrow them all. So some of the gags were written around what body parts we had. And this included, you know, the TV show Spartacus? Yeah. And there were lots of penises. They were prosthetic, and we got them. And another one...
just want to say how awesome were the prosthetics in this movie, and the gore. Fantastic.
Also, for any actors who want to break in to acting through horror, it really helps if you come with your own head. Because, yeah, we cast a guy purely because he came with his own decapitated head.
He was good though.
Yeah, he was too.
It's cool. Yeah, I mean, at least a quarter of those shots that you saw are one-take wonders, like, because it was such a, fast turnaround shoot, but, sometimes the actors pick up on the pace, and that they just, if they know that you only get one take in it, they really put everything into it, so, yeah, I guess, I don't know, just tell them that you only get one take anyway, and, they'll be awesome.
One way at the very back over there.
We have someone over there. Go.
What was your favorite scene to film?
Favorite? The lesbians making out. It was, sorry, but it was great. No, because honestly, day 19 was just a fucking shitstorm. That's when we had we shot the whole finale in half a day, in one night. So it was just put the camera there, shoot, put the camera there, shoot. It was a nightmare. It was a clusterfuck. And so, yeah, and we were planning to reshoot the whole thing, but we couldn't get enough money. It looks okay. Anyway, and then day 20 was just all right, what are we doing? I was just some girls on the green screen kissing, and I just had a beer, and I played some metal, and just called action, and I just did not call cut that day. It was great. And then I was like, why don't we just do the whole movie like this? This is really great. Sorry, no, the whole thing was a lot of fun. I think for me, the first gore scene, what we did with the razor, because it just, I didn't know if it was going to work or not, and it kind of proved that we could actually do some shit.
Maybe our next film should be a porn. It'd be just as many fluids. We had 80 liters of blood.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Jesus. 80 liter bukkake. Shit.
We actually have time for just one more question. Anybody want to throw one out? A good one?
Most professional Q&A.
Over there. Sorry, Trisha.
Was there, did you have anything else planned for the gash in his hand when he got clawed? Because it seemed to be a lot of attention to that, as if something was going to occur there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was written as the gash in his hand, and then it's that really funny scene where he's she's like, oh my god, your hand, and he's like, oh, it's nothing, and it just looks like his fucking hand's torn open, just about to you can always see the bone under there. Yeah, they did almost too good a job there.
It might be a subconscious tribute to Monty Python when he gets his arm totally chopped off.
Yeah.
It's just a flesh wound.
Honestly, it was just a plot device for her to get her bandages out and discover the jacket. To be honest. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I say thank you so much, Adam, for choosing us to be the closing film. Thank you all for coming. Yeah. And happy 10th anniversary for Toronto After Dark.
Join us at the bar here at Cineplex while we wait for the Jays game to finish. And then ask more questions to Jason, right? Cheers. And see you next year for our 11th Toronto After Dark. Cheers.
Yeah!